Hey friends, how's it going? So, I've been away for a while, and I know it happened again where I just kind of disappeared after taking a vacation. And I really don't have any excuse except that I just got busy, having a full time job, having kids, just being a dad and like an engineer at like a busy company. It just becomes one of those things where sometimes I just can't do these kind of hobbies that I really want to do. But for the past 7 months or so, I still like every now and then I still wanted to make videos. I still wanted to keep posting things and just document my life and help others with like learning engineering stuff or giving life advice or just whatever. Just doing this doing this YouTube thing, it brings me a lot of like joy, like in terms of like just happiness and it's like fun. It's like a creative outlet. So, but I recently read a book called Atomic Habits. I kind of like listened to it while I was driving to work, but basically, it's an old book. I think it's been around, but the whole concept of atomic habits is that small changes or small habits can make big and lasting impact in your life, and that kind of started getting me to think about not just YouTube, but my habits in general. Like the goals that I want to achieve in life. Like I want to use this kind of habit forming, this atomic habits, like the steps and like tricks that they outline in the book to try to do it. Try to accomplish the goals that I'm trying to do. I guess like kind of starting with the goals that I want to do in life. What am I trying to? What is like the main things that I'm trying to accomplish? And well, number one is be a good father, raise my kids well, be a good husband. Like I think those are just like fundamentals. So I gotta be always be able to provide for my family and be make time for my family and just live life together with my family. So that's like just fundamental things. But besides that, I guess career wise, my ultimate goal at some point in life is to start my own company, do my own thing. Most likely it'll be something in software, maybe in AI, because that's just kind of what I'm working on right now. But I've always had this kind of dream and bucket list of wanting to start something ever since I was like really young. I don't know what it was, but I just knew that I wanted to be like a business owner or like a CEO or something. Obviously, I have so much to learn if I wanted to do something like that, and there's a lot of things that like kind of stops me from doing it right now. Number one is because I have a family. I need to make sure that I have a means to put food on the table and make sure that my kids have like a good life, and I could pay for things and support them in things if they want to learn this or that. um, there's like those kind of main reasons why I haven't taken the leap yet. But ultimately, I want to do something on my own. I think has always been that's always been like a cornerstone in my kind of who I view as myself. Like at some point, I'm gonna do it, and I made a bunch of like timelines and like deadlines for myself, which I've broken in the past. My next one is when I'm 40, which is like I don't know, like 4 or 5 years away, like 4 years away. I don't know if that will happen, but you know, that's what I told myself when I was 30. That at 40 is my deadline when I'm gonna quit everything and then start my startup. Get but yeah. So kind of going back to this book about atomic habits. I think ultimately I want to everything I do, like when I read the book, everything about it really resonated, especially about one of the main things was that small actions that if you do it daily, they have compounding actions. Well, they have a compounding effect. So every action that you do, if you do it like all the time, like if it's a habit, it compounds over time. and and I always kind of knew that, but one thing that I didn't like internalize was that compounding habits also work for bad habits. So watching, like doom scrolling on your phone, or doom scrolling on your phone, overeating, not exercising, playing too much video games, like all these things that like I would probably end up doing if I wasn't really being mindful of my like what I'm doing day to day. But because I always been like thinking about these things, how do I like get myself to this ultimate goal that I have? I've always been relatively good about all those things that I mentioned of not doing it, but I noticed myself like slipping here and there. For example, one of the big issues I had was um, like just doom scrolling. You know, in the beginning of the year, I actually did a challenge where I went like, I forget how many days, maybe a week or a month without my phone. And that was actually like really good. Not like completely off the phone, but just enough where it was uncomfortable. Basically, setting like time limits and things like that. So I just end up not using it. And essentially, without that, and then just being super busy and not really thinking about my daily habits, I got into this behavior where I would finish work, put the kids to bed, and then just kind of lay down on the bed or a sofa, and I just kind of like mindlessly doom scroll. But while I was doing that, I was always thinking in the back of my head, oh, I should like work on my YouTube stuff, or I should do some extra side projects or something more productive than just doom scrolling. But it's when you're at the end of the day, the energy level is just not there. Even if your motivation's there, the energy level, at least for me, has been pretty bad. Luckily, though, the other thing that I have been actually kind of keeping up with is just working out. I signed up for this gym, and they have like a nice sauna and stuff like that. So I just do some weightlifting stuff and a little bit of cardio. I also picked up like pickleball just for fun. And so I've been able to work out relatively well. Um, but like for eating, I noticed I like snacked a lot and I ate after like 8 p.m. So there's all these things I know I don't want to do, but I've been doing. And I feel like all of these things that I mentioned, even though they don't seem like it, these are atomic habits that are sending me to a negative direction to the ultimate goal that I want to achieve, which is starting my own business. Because for me to start my own business, I feel like I need to, one, be financially stable enough, have enough saved up so that I can take a risk for a year or two without my family, without having to really worry that my family is not going to be able to live a similar lifestyle that they've come to accustom to. So that's like step number one. Step number two, I think, is just my personal behavior wise. Like I need to be able to kind of bootstrap this startup while I'm still working. I think that's kind of important for me. I don't think I'm not that risk averse that I could just drop everything and then do it. I feel like I need to see some signs that something is working before I like dive fully in. So that means that I need to be able to really optimize the time that I am not working in my day job, or essentially taking care of my family. So that time window is actually really slim. It's only a few hours a day, I think, especially because I work so damn much. But yeah, like with between work and family, that time is very slim, and most of that time is when I'm low energy and like late at night after the kids go to bed. I think it's just those two things. It's just stopping me, and to be honest, like both of those are like really big, right? One is like having enough. Like the first part might take forever because I just need to build enough wealth to be sustain myself, right? Like that's like a lot of savings. The second is just like if the second is hard because ideas come and go. Like it's really rare to find something that you're so passionate about that you think you can spend the next 10 years on. The space, just software in general, even AI and all these things are so saturated. So like, a lot of people say ideas are a dime a dozen, execution is everything, but in my opinion, I while I agree with that, at the same time, the idea and that kind of correlation to how much you want to pursue that idea is pretty rare. Like I think that getting that combo just right is like super rare, and you to even like find it, you actually have to be exploring. So like I need that time and energy to explore to even find it. So there's like it's just two simple steps in my opinion, but it's just so many things that I need to do to get it right. And I feel like this book this book and like me following some of these the tips that they gave me in this book is gonna help. So I don't remember everything at the top of my head. Me doing this video is really just getting me into back into it, and it's also like part of the habit stuff. But one of the main things that I took out of it is making it easy, making your habit really easy to do. So if there's like, if it's something that's like kind of hard to do, you got to try to change your environment to make it easy, or change the way you interact with a certain habit to make it hard. It's like an inverse of those rules. So for me, the big thing for me is I'm trying to buy time, buy myself like clarity and time. And I feel like the phone is like the biggest distraction. So the first thing I did was I got myself a new Apple Watch, like just like a new watch. I didn't have to because I already had one, but I think it's another like habit trick where you you spend some money or do some kind of action to make it painful to not follow through. And I feel like spending money, while it's not like the best motivator, it is something, right? Like you just bought something nice, you want to like use it, even though like maybe you're annoyed that it's like, for my watch, maybe it's like bothering me because it's like tight, or I'm now used to it. So I bought a watch, and basically making it a habit to wear all the time, and then putting my phone away in my bag, which is like here. So I have this like shoulder bag, and I just put it away, and just that simple thing. Also like putting like, I put like a 20-minute timer on all like social media apps and like things I used to waste my time, and deleted all the games. So just doing those steps, putting my phone in my bag, and then having a watch for just notifications and stuff like that, and also muting it, that has really helped me from just like looking at my phone all the time. And then the other thing about my phone is, in the book they talk about triggers, and they said your habits actually are caused by triggers that you're not even aware of. So for me, when the my trigger for looking at my phone was usually when I put my hand in my pockets because I'm not doing anything and I feel it. So, and I just have this urge to pull it out because it's there. And the other thing is, if at the end of the day when I lie down in bed or lie down on the couch, if my phone is near me, there is this desire, like I don't even know why, but it's just like I just immediately did it. It's just a habit, right? So the other big things that I started doing with my phone is kind of figuring out ways to break those triggers. And for me, what I do now is when I come home from work, or when I finish the work day from my like home office, which is like, right here. So like when I finish, I'll just like put it I'll just like put it right there in the charger. So I keep my phone in my work office space. So that has really helped me just lower the phone use time, and it's given me some time back at night. And then the last piece of it is consumption of media. One of the silly rules that I made was So here's another thing that I realize is in my room I have a nice TV. Actually, I could show you guys. This is our master bedroom, and we have this TV here, and essentially, I could just lay down in my bed here, like here, right here, and then I have all the controllers and everything, and I would end up just watching TV, and I realize that because I didn't have my phone and stuff, I would end up just using the TV as a crutch, as a replacement. So I made this rule where I said if I want to watch TV, I need to be walking. So I essentially got this treadmill. So when I'm watching TV, I need to be walking. I used to use it for when I was taking meetings, but I basically changed that. But yeah, so I've been making these changes and it's been working so far. The last yeah, because like the other big thing is I don't want to sacrifice on my health. I'm getting older. I have kids. I want to stay healthy. So the walking thing actually it's kind of like a double thing, right? It helps me stay healthy in a sense because it forces me to walk when I watch TV. But because I'm walking, I can't watch too much TV because I get tired after like an hour of just walking and watching TV. So yeah. So yeah, those have been like really helpful. And I don't really know why I'm doing all of this. I think ultimately I feel like I just need to do these things to buy myself time and then give myself enough time to do step 2, which is start exploring, use my time in a way so I could, you know, make a stepping stone to what I really want to do, which is my startup. So kind of going and I realized that I think YouTube might be a way for me to pursue my eventual goal. I've always used YouTube as like kind of just for fun as a hobby. Maybe it could go somewhere if it did well, but I just never had the I just never had any of these habits around YouTube that made me like just always show up. It really YouTube was when I just felt like doing it, and usually it happened during the beginning of the year where I was making all these like New Year's resolutions and stuff like that. So I think I'm gonna try to form some habits around YouTube. And the first thing I did was I bought gear. I just buy gear all the time because I feel like if I have gear and it's easily accessible, I might film more. So that's kind of what I started to do. So one thing I did was uh it's not fully set up yet, but I bought this clip. Um I bought this clip that goes on my shoulder bag, and it's a quick release clip. And essentially what I'm planning to do is I'm shooting on an Osmo Pocket 3 right now, and I'm gonna mount this to the front, or maybe I'll get like a GoPro type kind of action camera and mount it. So I'll use that to like film while I'm like walking around. Just make sure I have it easy so that I can always film if I feel like I want to film. Or if I feel it, maybe make that into a trigger where I feel the thing and it reminds me that I need to film. The other things is I bought a bunch of like mounts on my car, to do a similar thing where I will use like magnets to mount this Osmo or a GoPro, kind of like an Ace Pro or whatever, to remind myself to film and just like make videos. And then the other big thing is I think one of my biggest blockers is editing. Like I enjoy editing, but at the same time it's such a time sink for some of the videos that I want to make. And I still want to make those kind of videos where it's like edited very nicely. But in my opinion, I think right now in my situation, I think the most important thing for me to do is to show up. So there'll be probably a lot of these kind of videos where it's just off the cuff, me just talking to a camera about my thoughts, And I'm gonna try to do that. I'm gonna try to just make it a habit to just film my thoughts throughout the day or whatever, and try to at least post once a week. Also, maybe make more short form content. So the whole idea, one of the big things about the Atomic Habits book that I thought was interesting is you need to first, if you want to do like make your habit like behavior changes, you actually need to like change your personality, not personality, but your persona. So you need to start thinking of yourself in a certain way. And for me, I've never viewed myself as like a YouTuber or anything like that. But if I want YouTube to be something that works out and it's not just a hobby at some point, then I need to start thinking of myself as a YouTuber. So I think that is why I'm making these changes, to try to like get myself to like think about that, and then do those habits more often. So make more videos, make more content, and post more often. Like it's crazy how it's crazy how much like doing this, like talking to a camera, that you forget, and how awkward it is the first time. Because I actually tried to do this video today while I was watching my while I took my firstborn to his soccer practice. I had everything prepared and I was gonna do it, but I realized there was just a bunch of people that was like a few. There's just like a lot of people near me. They weren't even that close. Like I think I could have moved a little bit further and did it, but I just felt very self conscious. So I think those are the things that I want to get better at and just be okay with, because I'm a YouTuber, right? But the reason why I think YouTube is important is fundamentally I'm getting to a point where I think that even if I built something, it's going to be really hard to get distribution without having an audience. And I feel like YouTube is the best form to build an audience that care about what I would do, that care about the things that I care about. So I think this is just like the most natural way. So if you're interested in like things that I want to say, things I want to build in the future, consider subscribing. See, I'm already being a YouTuber. Is it like and subscribe and smash the like button or whatever? That's kind of cringe, but yeah. Anyways, so that's kind of where I am. A little update. I know I'm probably gonna edit this very little bit, just cutting out just dead space. But if you want to hear, just more free form conversations like this about any topic, feel free to drop it down below, and maybe I'll look through the comments, and if something strikes my attention and I'm interested in talking about that, I'll talk about it. But yeah, so I'll do these kind of videos. I'll still try to do these other like highly edited videos about some engineering topics. I might even do some food stuff. I don't know. The point right now for me is I'm doing the exploration, and I'm doing that through posting videos about random things on YouTube. I might even build like a side project or something and film that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of freeform chat. And I'll talk to you guys another time. I'll see you all later. Bye.